Greetings, greetings superior beings, greetings supreme being, welcome to Universal Peace Tube, the Universal Peace Tube channel on YouTube. Today we are doing the broadcast Garmin Fenix 2 manual tutorial menus overview. I am live, okay. So first I want to cover a short comparison between the Amazfit Pace, which we see here, and the Garmin Fenix, and then cover the owner's manual, all the menus, all the functions of the Garmin Fenix 2. Okay, so Garmin Fenix 2 versus Amazfit Pace. The advantages of the Amazfit Pace watch: it has a built-in heart rate monitor, no strap. With the Fenix 2 you would need a separate strap with cancer cell phone radiation, so that's something I wouldn't use. And it's a satanic inversion. They call it a smart watch, while in reality it's a stupid watch, because cancer cell phone radiation microwaves are very harmless, in contrast to what some people that want to depopulate the earth are claiming, and what people that believe their lies are claiming. Other advantage of the Amazfit Pace, besides the heart rate monitor, is sleep detection. And other advantages are coming up. The sleep detection, as you can see, that's a nifty feature. Here you see that screen, it's a big screen. It does have the flat tire at the bottom. There's a light sensor here. That's why, and also in their Amazfit Pace 2, that has the flat screen, the flat tire they call it, at the bottom, like the Moto 360. So some people find that a disadvantage, and they never use that light sensor. That's to adjust the display, lighting of the display to the environment. So they think it's a pity it's on there. They turn the light off to have the maximum battery life. And if there's some light, then you can definitely read the time, etc. But this monitors your sleep, unlike the Garmin Fenix 2. Later Garmin watches may have sleep monitoring as well. Other advantages of the Amazfit Pace are that the watch is lighter. This is quite big and heavy. After pacifying the Amazfit Pace, some Android apps are installable on the Pace, including some games and a sound recorder. There's a nice Invaders game. They've ported apps for the Android Wear watches, which suck, because if you put it in airplane mode, it's the only way to make sure it doesn't emit the harmful cancer microwave radiation. If you put it in airplane mode, then there's a little icon on the screen, and if you keep the watch on all the time, for that you need a special app, then the battery drains very fast within a day or so on these Android Wear watches, so they should have one with an e-ink display. And there are several other e-ink display watches: Sony, Pebble, Amazfit, Strata, or what is it called? The Meta watch. And perhaps there are others that I'm forgetting at the moment. I'm a watch collector. So the Amazfit Pace has a color screen. Another interesting watch that shows the sunrise and sunset times is this North Edge, it's called. That's pretty reasonable as well. Also has a barometer. And it shows an icon on the screen what weather we can expect, and you can show sunrise and sunset times on the screen. And I just think it looks cool, like the watch in the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock, which is a good movie, by the way. So the color screen, this has a black and white screen. Might also take down the battery life a little bit. But color screen is nicer also for maps, etc. And it has a higher resolution, so you can see things much better. The 7th advantage of the Amazfit Pace is the low price. 8th advantage, about 1,000 watch faces to choose from for the Amazfit Pace. But now the advantages of the Garmin Fenix 2. It uses GPS to update the time, so no cancer cell phone is required to update the time. With these other watches you always have to pair them with your device. I haven't done this with this one yet, and I like that I don't need the cancer cell phone radiation. That's a big problem with these so-called smart watches that are of course stupid watches because they irradiate your body and your health is the most important thing. Number 2. The second advantage of the Garmin Fenix 2 over the Amazfit Pace is waypoints allow for easy navigation to and from any place, mainly by compass. The maps are lower resolution and usually do not contain street names on the Fenix 2. On the Amazfit Pace you can install Offline Maps Plus, have an offline map that also shows the street names, etc. And this is very low resolution, and it's not really a usable map. It just shows the track, the shape of the track you've been running, and some other things. And there are videos about it that you can look. This is going to be about the manual, not about Amazfit Pace, but Fenix 2. 3. No connection to a cancer cell phone required for accurate sunrise, sunset and moon phase data, which is required with the Pebble, for example. And on the Amazfit Pace I have installed an app for the moon phase and screenshots of the sunrise and sunset times, so you can put pictures on it, and that way you can also have the sunrise and sunset times for the whole year on the watch, basically, just in case you ever want to use that. The fourth advantage of the Garmin Fenix 2, the alarm can be vibration or bleeping sound, and Pace has no sound, but it has a sound recorder. And the vibration might take more battery and you don't hear it, so if that's a weak vibration then it doesn't wake you up, and this one is very reasonable. But I tend to find them quite weak, the vibration also on the strongest setting, and the bleeps as well. So if you want to have an alarm that wakes you up for sure, then perhaps it's best to use your cancer cell phone in airplane mode. Put all these devices in airplane mode. I've covered the extremely bad effects on human health of cancer cell phone devices in previous broadcasts. And also what they're doing to me with directed energy weapons and hybrid insect microelectric mechanical systems. So I advise you all to watch these previous broadcasts to survive their depopulation methods. And the fifth advantage of the Garmin Fenix 2 over the Amazfit Pace, the seconds can be seen continuously, though the battery lasts and lasts on the Garmin Fenix. You can see an outer ring, and it's you can change the settings so that the second ring looks different. There are a number of options for it, and you can turn the seconds off as well. That may save battery life. You can show the sunrise and the moon phase, and then after the sun has gone down, then that changes into the sunrise time. So now it's on sunset time because sunset is coming up at 18:14, and as soon as that moment has passed, then it changes to show the sunrise time. So this is the sunset time and the moon phase. And when it changes to show the sunrise time instead of sunset, then the moon phase is not shown anymore. It shows another icon to indicate that is indicating the time when the sun will rise. But then you watch the moon phase all day, so then you know about what moon phase it is. And this also has some other options like fishing timer, but it's more professional to have seconds continuously and still have a long battery life. So that these are major advantages not to be underestimated of the Garmin Fenix 2. So they both use an e-ink display to have much longer screen on time. Regular screen Android watches last about a day. With the screen on, e-ink devices can last a week or longer. My latest YouTube video on my new YouTube channel, named Universal Peace Tube, my previous channel was named Ulrich BC Hoffman, is Garmin Fenix 2 manual tutorial menus overview. So that's this overview, and now we're gonna cover the whole manual for the Fenix 2. We see it here. That's the official manual on garmin.com. If you download this, then you may not be able to read it with a speech engine, text-to-speech engine, but if you use the online version, then that's readable. So here we go. Let's read the whole manual with all these menus explained, because it has a lot of functions, and then I can add stuff if necessary. So here we go.
Table of Contents Introduction. 1. Charging the device. 1. Keys. 1. Locking the keys. 1. Viewing the data pages. 1. Starting an activity. 1. Stopping an activity. 1. Support and updates. 1. Setting up Garmin Express. 2. Waypoints, routes, and tracks. 2. Waypoints. 2. Creating a waypoint. 2. Navigating to a waypoint. 2. Finding a waypoint by name. 2. Changing the search area. 2. Editing a waypoint. 2. Increasing the accuracy of a waypoint location. 2. Projecting a waypoint. 2. Deleting a waypoint. 2. Deleting all waypoints. 2. Routes. 2. Creating a route. 2. Editing the name of a route. 2. Editing a route. 2. Viewing a route on the map. 2. Deleting a route. 3. Reversing a route. 3. Tracks. 3. Saving a track. 3. Creating a track from a saved activity. 3. Viewing details about the track. 3. Deleting a track. 3. Sending and receiving data wirelessly. 3. Garmin Adventures. 3. Navigation. 3. Navigating to a destination. 3. Navigating with Sight and Go. 3. Compass. 3. Navigating using the compass. 3. Map. 4. Penning and zooming the map. 4. Navigating to your starting point. 4. Altimeter and barometer. 4. Marking and starting navigation to a man overboard location. 4. Geocookies. 4. Downloading geocookies. 4. Navigating to a geocook. 4. Logging the attempt. 4. Chirped. 4. Finding a geocook with a chirp device. 4. Activities. 4. Skiing. 4. Going downhill skiing or snowboarding. 4. Viewing your ski runs. 5. Hiking. 5. Going for a hike. 5. Running. 5. Going for a run. 5. Biking. 5. Going for a ride. 5. Swimming. 5. Going for a pool swim. 5. Going for an open water swim. 5. Swim terminology. 6. Multi-sport. 6. Starting a multi-sport activity. 6. Editing a multi-sport activity. 6. Workouts. 6. Following a workout from the web. 6. Starting a workout. 6. Indoor activities. 6. Starting an indoor activity. 6. Using history. 6. Training. 6. Garmin Connect. 6. Setting up your user profile. 7. Fitness goals. 7. About heart rate zones. 7. About lifetime athletes. 7. Running dynamics. 7. Training with running dynamics. 7. Running dynamics data and gauges. 8. Tips for missing running dynamics data. 8. About VO2 max estimates. 8. Getting your VO2 max estimate. 8. VO2 max standard ratings. 8. Recovery advisor. 9. Turning on the recovery advisor. 9. Viewing your recovery time. 9. About training effect. 9. Viewing your predicted race times. 9. Using virtual partner registered. 9. Applications. 10. Clock. 10. Setting the alarm. 10. Changing the alarm clock sound. 10. Starting the countdown timer. 10. Using the stopwatch. 10. Adding a custom time zone. 10. Editing a custom time zone. 10. Calculating the size of an area. 10. Viewing the almanacs. 10. Verb remote. 10. Controlling a verb action camera. 10. Customizing your device. 10. Activity settings. 10. Customizing the data pages. 11. Alerts. 11. Using auto pause. 12. Auto lap registered. 12. Ultra track. 12. 3D speed and distance. 12. Sensors settings. 12. Compass settings. 12. Altimeter settings. 13. Bluetooth registered connected features. 13 pairing your smartphone with your Fenix 2 device, 13 general settings, 13 display settings, 13 time settings, 13 changing the units of measure, 13 system settings, 13 customizing the hotkey, 14 map settings, 14 position format settings, 14 customizing the main menu, 14 table of contents resetting the device to factory settings.
So one way to set the time without cancer cell phone radiation is basically turning on GPS and putting it in a stationary position for 15 minutes while it's having contact with the GPS satellites. And another method that I haven't tried yet is with cancer cell phone radiation on. Then you can use aluminum foil to shield yourself against the radiation and still install watch faces and all that without being exposed to it. I was treated for cancer with chemo about 6 years ago. So that's something to avoid. 1 in 2 of you will have cancer according to medscape.com. And people can do the Bootwig diet and use kombu seaweed and other things to prevent getting cancer. So iodine may actually help, of the controlled opposition Alex Jones. Yeah, so that was the point I wanted to make. Then that's what I read, and I think it worked. So if your watch is a bit behind or ahead of time, then you can use any function that uses the GPS and that turns on GPS. It may be best, they wrote it, it's best to put it on satellites, and then you can also see the satellite reception strength, etc., etc. And then it will update the time after a while. Okay.
"14 ANT plus sensors. 14 pairing ANT plus sensors. 14 tempe. 14 putting on the heart rate monitor. 14 tips for erratic heart rate data. 15 foot pod. 15 setting the foot pod mode. 15 foot pod calibration. 15 using an optional bike cadence sensor. 16 device information. 16 viewing device information. 16 device care. 16 cleaning the device. 16 specifications. 16 battery information. 16 caring for the heart rate monitor. 16 HRM run specifications. 16 user replaceable batteries. 16 replacing the heart rate monitor battery. 16 data management. 17 file types. 17 disconnecting the USB cable. 17 deleting files. 17 troubleshooting. 17 resetting your device. 17 maximizing the battery life. 17 getting more information. 17 appendix. 17 data fields. 17 software license agreement. 19 index. 22 table of contents. Introduction. Warning: see the important safety and product information guide in the product box for product warnings and other important information. Always consult your physician before you begin or modify any exercise program. Charging the device. Notice to prevent corrosion. Thoroughly dry the contacts and the surrounding area before charging or connecting to a computer. The device is powered by a built-in lithium-ion battery that you can charge using a standard wall outlet or a USB port on your computer. 1. Plug the USB end of the cable into the AC adapter or a computer USB port. 2. Plug the AC adapter into a standard wall outlet. 3. Align the left side of the charging cradle A, with the groove on the left side of the device. 4. Align the hinged side of the charger A, with the contacts on the back of the device. When you connect the device to a power source, the device turns on. 5. Charge the device completely. Keys: A light, select to turn the backlight on and off. Hold to turn the device on and off or to lock the keys. A start stop, select to start or stop an activity. Select to choose an option in a menu. A back lap, select to return to the previous page. select to record a lap or a rest during an activity. A tilde down select to scroll through the data pages, options, messages, and settings. Select to read a long message or notification. Hold to mark a waypoint. A diaresis up menu select to scroll through the data pages, options, messages, and settings. Select to dismiss a short message or notification. Hold to view the main menu. Locking the keys. You can lock the keys to prevent inadvertent key presses. 1. Select the data page you want to view while the keys are locked. 2. Hold light for 2 seconds, and select lock to lock the keys. 3. Hold light for 2 seconds to unlock the keys. Viewing the date pages. Customizable data pages allow you to quickly access real-time data from internal and connected sensors. When you start an activity, additional data pages appear. From the time of day page or any data page, select up or down to cycle through the data pages.
So it's quite simple. The buttons have text near them that say what they do. Left top corner light button, it says light, and the middle button is the menu button. Up, and the third key on the left at the bottom is the menu down button. Right top corner start and stop, and right bottom corner button is back and lap. Okay, so then in the manual when they describe that, then you can see the text of the button on your watch, so then you know what button to press.
Starting an activity. When you start an activity that requires GPS, GPS turns on automatically. When you stop the activity, GPS turns off, and the device returns to low power mode. 1. Select start. 2. Select an activity. 3. If necessary, follow the on-screen instructions to enter additional information. 4. If necessary, wait while the device connects to your ANT+TM sensors. 5. If the activity requires GPS, go outside, and wait while the device locates satellites. 6. Select start to start the timer. Note, the device does not record your activity data until you start the timer. Stopping an activity. Note, some options are not available for some activities. 1. Select stop. 2. Select an option to reset your activity. Select reset. This resets the timer and clears all recorded data since you started the activity. To record a lap, select lap. To follow your track back to the starting point of your activity, select track back. To resume your activity, select resume. To save the activity and return to low power mode, select save. To discard the activity and return to low power mode, select discard. To suspend your activity and resume at a later time, select resume later. Support and updates. Garmin Express TM provides easy access to these services for Garmin registered devices. Some services may not be available for your device. Product registration. Introduction 1. Product manuals, software updates, map updates, vehicles, voices, and other extras. Setting up Garmin Express 1. Connect the device to your computer using a USB cable. 2. Go to www.garmin.com/express. 3. Follow the on-screen instructions. Waypoints, routes, and tracks. Waypoints are locations you record and store in the device. Creating a waypoint. You can save your current location as a waypoint. 1. Hold down. 2. Select an option to save the waypoint without changes. Select save. To make changes to the waypoint, select edit. Make changes to the waypoint.
So it may depend on the settings of the watch, because you can assign hotkeys basically. So the left bottom down button on the watch, left bottom corner, I'm holding it upside down now, it's this one here. If you press that and keep it pressed for a while, then it makes a waypoint. But if another hotkey has been assigned, and if you long press it, then it will do what it's assigned to do. So then you first have to use hotkeys, explained later in this manual, to assign make a waypoint to that button, and then you can anywhere press this button, hold it pressed, and then it will log your location, and then you can always travel back to that location, for example to find your car, or when hiking, to go back to the same location you started from. And that's very handy, functional, and they're known for their GPS devices, so I think it's pretty good GPS. I don't know if it's more accurate than the Amazfit Pace. It's made later than this one, but there are other Garmins, though they're really quite pricey. I think they are quite professional, and I like the looks of this one. It's really cool, and it is lighter and it wears nicer than I had expected it to.
And select Save. Navigating to a waypoint. 1. Select Start, greater than Navigate, greater than Waypoints. 2. Select a waypoint, finding a waypoint by name. 1. Select Start, greater than Navigate, greater than Waypoints, greater than Spell Search. 2. Select Up, Down and Start, to enter all or part of the waypoint name. 3. Select Done. 4. Select the waypoint, changing the search area. 1. Select Start, greater than Navigate, greater than Waypoints, greater than Search Near. 2. Select an option, to search near a waypoint, select Waypoints. To search near a city, select Cities. To search near your current location, select Current Lock. Editing a waypoint. Before you can edit a waypoint, you must create a waypoint. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than Waypoints. 3. Select a waypoint. 4. Select Edit. 5. Select an item to edit, such as the name. 6. Select Up, Down and Start to enter characters. 7. Select Done, increasing the accuracy of a waypoint location. You can refine a waypoint location for more accuracy. When averaging, the device takes several readings at the same location and uses the average value to provide more accuracy. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than Waypoints. 3. Select a waypoint. 4. Select average lock. 5. Move to the waypoint location. 6. Select Start. 7. Follow the on-screen instructions. 8. When the confidence reaches 100%, select Save. For best results, collect 4 to 8 samples for the waypoint, waiting at least 90 minutes between samples.
So the other method to set the time that I've seen on the Garmin website is basically connecting it to the Cantor cell phone watch, and other functions may not work anymore. And then in the system, in the settings somewhere, you have a menu to set the time. I haven't tested it yet, and I am not planning to test it. GPS is excellent, completely in sync with the atomic time. Time.is is, for example, a website where you can check the atomic time to synchronize your watch to see its deviation. Sometimes it takes a day or longer to be able to see any deviation from the atomic time if it's an accurate watch. And all these quartz and smart watches are more accurate than mechanical or automatic watches. They are called these watches that wind with the movement of your wrist. In general, all of them are more accurate quartz, and automatic watches are less accurate, winding watches, etc. And they have all these parts. I've made a video about that as well, what the disadvantages are of these mechanical automatic watches versus quartz and smart watches.
Projecting a waypoint. You can create a new location by projecting the distance and bearing from your current location to a new location. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select Tools, greater than Project Waypoint. 3. Follow the on-screen instructions. The projected waypoint is saved with a default name. Deleting a waypoint. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select User Data, greater than Waypoints. 3. Select a waypoint. 4. Select Delete, greater than Yes. Deleting all waypoints. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select Settings, greater than System, greater than Reset, greater than all waypoints. Routes. A route is a sequence of waypoints or locations that lead you to your final destination. Creating a route. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than routes, greater than create new. 3. Select first point. 4. Select a category. 5. Select the first point on the route. 6. Select next point. 7. Repeat steps 4 to 6 until the route is complete. 8. Select done to save the route. Editing the name of a route. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than routes. 3. Select a route. 4. Select rename. 5. Select up, down and start to enter characters. 6. Select done, editing a route. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than routes. 3. Select a route. 4. Select edit. 5. Select a point. 6. Select an option. To view the point on the map, select map. To change the order of the point on the route, select move up, or move down. To insert an additional point on the route, select insert. The additional point is inserted before the point you are editing. To add a point to the end of the route, select next point. To remove the point from the route, select remove. Viewing a route on the map. 1. Hold menu. 2. Waypoints, routes, and tracks. 2. Select user data, greater than routes. 3. Select a route. 4. Select view map, deleting a route. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than routes. 3. Select a route. 4. Select delete, greater than yes, reversing a route. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than routes. 3. Select a route. 4. Select reverse, tracks. A track is a recording of your path. The track log contains information about points along the recorded path, including time, location, and elevation for each point. The device records a track automatically during any activity that uses GPS. When you save an activity that uses GPS, the device saves the track as part of the activity, saving a track. 1. After you have completed an activity that uses GPS, select stop, greater than save. 2. Create a track from the saved activity. Creating a track from a saved activity. Creating a track from a saved activity. You create a track from a saved activity. This allows you to share your track wirelessly with other compatible Garmin devices. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select history, greater than activities. 3. Select an activity. 4. Select save as track, viewing details about the track. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than tracks. 3. Select a track. 4. Select view map. The beginning and the end of the track are marked by flags. 5. Select back, greater than details. 6. Select up and down to view information about the track.
You can also import maps to this device, though they're not very detailed and with street names, etc. And the way to do that is explained in other YouTube videos. It worked for me, so it's quite easy.
Deleting a track. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than tracks. 3. Select a track. 4. Select delete, greater than yes. Sending and receiving data wirelessly. Before you can share data wirelessly, you must be within 3 meters, 10 feet, of a compatible Garmin device. Your device can send or receive data when connected to another compatible device. You can share waypoints, geocaching, routes, and tracks wirelessly. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select user data, greater than share data, greater than unit to unit. 3. Select send or receive. 4. Follow the on-screen instructions. Garmin Adventures. You can create adventures to share your journeys with family, friends, and the Garmin community. Group related items together as an adventure. For example, you can create an adventure for your latest hiking trip. The adventure could contain the track log of the trip, photos of the trip, and geocaches you hunted. You can use Basecamp TM to create and manage your adventures. For more information, go to http://adventures.garmin.com. Navigation. You can navigate to a route, track, waypoint, geocache, or any save location in the device. You can use the map or the compass to navigate to your destination. Navigating to a destination. You can navigate to waypoints, tracks, routes, geocaches, points, and GPS coordinates. You can also navigate using TrackBack registered or Sight and Go. 1. Select start, greater than navigate. 2 select a type of destination, 3 follow the on-screen prompts to select a destination. The device displays information about your next waypoint. 4 select up or down to view additional navigation data pages. Viewing the data pages. Navigating with Sight and Go, you can point the device at an object in the distance, such as a water tower, lock in the direction, and then navigate to the object. 1 select Start, greater than Navigate, greater than Sight and Go. 2 point the top mark on the bezel at an object. 3 select Start, greater than Set Course. 4 navigate using the compass, navigating using the compass. 5 select Down to view the map, optional. Compass. The device has a 3-axis compass with automatic calibration. The compass features and appearance change depending on your activity, whether GPS is enabled, and whether you are navigating to a destination. You can manually change the compass settings. Compass settings. Navigating using the compass. You can use the compass to navigate to your next waypoint. 1 While navigating, select Down to view the compass page. The 2 tick marks at the edge of the screen act as a bearing pointer, which indicates the direction to your next waypoint. 2 point the painted mark above the device screen in the direction you are facing. The painted mark indicates your heading, or your direction of travel. Navigation. 3 Index accessories. 17 activities. 3, 4, 10 saving. 1, 5, 6 starting. 1, 6 adventures. 3 alarms. 11 clock. 10 proximity. 12 alerts. 11, 12 location. 12 almanac hunting and fishing. 10 sunrise and sunset. 10 altimeter. 4, 13 calibrating. 13 ANT plus sensors. 12, 14 applications. 13 smartphone. 13 area calculation. 10 auto lap. 12, 3 orient yourself so that the bearing pointer aligns with the painted mark on the device. 4 travel in that direction until you reach your destination. Map represents your location on the map. As you travel, the icon moves and leaves a track log, trail. Waypoint names and symbols appear on the map. When you are navigating to a destination, your route is marked with a line on the map. Map navigation, panning and zooming the map. Map settings, map settings. Panning and zooming the map. 1 While navigating, select up to view the map. 2 hold menu. 3 select pan, zoom. 4 select an option to toggle between panning up and down, panning left and right, or zooming. Select start. To pan or zoom the map, select up and down. To quit, select back. Navigating to your starting point. You can navigate back to the starting point of your track or activity along the path you traveled. This feature is available only for activities that use GPS. During an activity, select stop, greater than track back. Your current location. A track to follow. A and endpoint A appear on the map. Altimeter and barometer. The device contains an internal altimeter and barometer. The device collects altimeter and barometer data continuously, even in low power mode. The altimeter displays your approximate elevation based on pressure changes. The barometer displays environmental pressure data based on the fixed elevation where the altimeter was most recently calibrated. Altimeter settings. Marking and starting navigation to a man overboard location. You can save a man overboard, mob, location, and automatically start navigation back to it. Tip: you can customize the hold function of the down key to access the mob function quickly. Customizing the hotkey. 1 hold menu. 2 select tools, greater than mob. Geocache. A geocache is like a hidden treasure. Geocaching is when you hunt for hidden treasures using GPS coordinates posted online by those hiding the geocache. Downloading geocache is 1 connect the device to your computer using a USB cable. 2 go to www.garmin.com/geocaching. 3 if necessary, create an account. 4 sign in. 5 follow the on-screen instructions to find and download geocaches to your device. Navigating to a geocache. Before you can navigate to a geocache, you must download a geocache to your device. Go to www.garmin.com/geocaching for more information. Navigating to a geocache is like navigating to any other location, navigating to a destination. Logging the attempt. After you have attempted to find a geocache, you can log your results. 1 hold menu. 2 select user data, greater than geocache, greater than log attempt. 3 select found Did not find or unattempted. 4. Select an option. To begin navigation to a geocache nearest you, select Find Next. To end the logging, select Done. Chirp TM. A chirp is a small Garmin accessory that is programmed and left in a geocache. You can use your device to find a chirp in a geocache. For more information about the chirp, see the chirp owner's manual at www.garmin.com.
It may use cancer cell phone radiation, so it's better not to use it, to avoid it completely.
Finding a geocache with a chirp. Device 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than chirp. 3. Select start, greater than navigate, greater than geocache. 4. Wait while the device locates satellites. 5. Select a geocache, and select chirp, to show chirp details while you are navigating. 6. Select go and navigate to the geocache, navigating to a destination. When you are within 10 meters, 33 feet, of the geocache that contains a chirp device, a message appears. Activities. Your device can be used for a variety of outdoor, athletic, and fitness activities. When you start an activity, the device displays and records sensor data about your activity. You can save activities and share them with the Garmin Connect TM community. The device functions differently depending on your activity. For example, data pages, recorded data, and menu options may appear differently based on your activity. Skiing. Going downhill skiing or snowboarding. Before you go skiing or snowboarding, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. 1. Select start, greater than ski board. 2. Wait while the device locates satellites. 3. Select start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 4. Start your activity. 4. Geocaches. The auto run feature is turned on by default. This feature automatically records new ski runs based on your movement. The auto pause registered feature is turned on by default. Using auto pause, the timer pauses when you stop moving downhill and when you board the chairlift. 5. If necessary, start moving downhill to restart the timer. 6. After you complete your activity, select stop, greater than save. Viewing your ski runs. Your device records the details of each skiing or snowboarding run. You can view run details from the pause screen or while the timer is running. 1. Start a skiing or snowboarding activity. 2. Hold menu. 3. Select view runs. 4. Select up and down to view details of your last run, your current run, and your total runs. The run screens include time, distance traveled, maximum speed, average speed, and total descent. Hiking. Going for a hike. Before you go for a hike, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. 1. Select start, greater than hike. 2. Wait while the device locates satellites. 3. Start hiking. The device records a track while you hike. 4. When you want to take a break or pause the device from tracking, select stop, greater than resume later. The device saves the status of your hike and enters low power mode. 5. Select start, greater than resume to resume tracking. 6. After you complete your hike, select stop, greater than save. Running. Going for a run. Before you go for a run, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. Before you can use an ANT Plus sensor for your run, the sensor must be paired with your device, bearing ANT Plus sensors. 1. Put on your ANT Plus sensors, such as a foot pod or heart rate monitor, optional. 2. Select start, greater than run. 3. Select an option to use paired ANT Plus sensors. Wait for the device to connect to the sensors. To skip searching for ANT Plus sensors, select skip. 4. Go outside, and wait while the device locates satellites. The timer screen appears. 5. Select start to start the timer. 6. Go for a run. 7. Select lap to record laps, optional. 8. Select up and down to view additional data pages, optional. 9. After you complete your run, select stop, greater than save, to save the run. A summary appears. Biking. Going for a ride. Before you go for a ride, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. Before you can use an ANT Plus sensor for your ride, the sensor must be paired with your device, bearing ANT Plus sensors. 1. Put on your ANT Plus sensors, such as a heart rate monitor, optional. 2. Select Start, greater than bike. 3. Select an option, to use paired ANT Plus sensors. Wait for the device to connect to the sensors. To skip searching for ANT Plus sensors, select Skip. 4. Go outside, and wait while the device locates satellites. 5. Select Start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 6. Start riding. 7. Select Up and Down, to view additional data pages, optional. 8. After you complete your ride, select Stop, greater than Save. Swimming. Notice the device is intended for surface swimming. Scuba diving with the device may damage the product and will void the warranty. Note, the device cannot record heart rate data while swimming. Going for a pool swim. Before you go for a swim, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. 1. Select Start, greater than Swim, greater than Pool. 2. Select your pool size, or enter a custom size. 3. Select Start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 4. Start swimming. The device automatically records swim intervals and lengths. 5. Select Up and Down, to view additional data pages, optional. 6. When resting, select Lap to pause the timer. 7. Select Lap to restart the timer. 8. After you complete your swim, select Stop, greater than Save. Going for an open water swim. Before you go for a swim, you should charge the device completely. Charging the device. 1. Select Start, greater than Swim, greater than open water. 2. Wait while the device locates satellites. 3. Select Start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 4. Start swimming. Activities 5. 5. Select Lap to record an interval, optional. 6. Select Up and Down, to view additional data pages, optional. 7. After you complete your swim, select Stop, greater than Save. Swim terminology. Length 1. Trip down the pool, interval 1 or more lengths. A new interval starts after you rest. Stroke. A stroke is counted every time your arm wearing the device completes a full cycle. SWOLF. Your SWOLF score is the sum of the time for one length and the number of strokes for that length. For example, 30 seconds plus 15 strokes equals a SWOLF score of 45. SWOLF is a measurement of swimming efficiency and, like golf, a lower score is better. Multisport triathletes, duathletes, and other multisport competitors can take advantage of the multisport activity. During a multisport activity, you can't transition between activities and continue to view your total time and distance. For example, you can switch from biking to running and view your total time and distance for biking and running throughout the multisport.
You see, a lower score is better, so I'm winning all the time.
Activity. You can customize a multisport activity, or you can use the default multisport activity setup for a standard triathlon. Starting a multisport activity. 1. Select Start, greater than Multisport, greater than Start. 2. Wait while the device locates satellites. 3. Select Start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 4. Start your first activity. 5. Select Lap to transition to the next activity. If transitions are turned on, the transition time is recorded separately from the activity times. 6. If necessary, select Lap to start the next activity. 7. Select Up and Down, to view additional data pages, optional. 8. After you complete your last activity, select Stop, greater than Save. Editing a multisport activity. 1. Select Start, greater than Multisport, greater than Down. 2. Select an activity. 3. Repeat step 2 until the multisport activity is complete. 4. Select Done. 5. Select Yes, to turn transitions on, or No to turn transitions off. If transitions are turned on, the transition time is recorded separately from the activity times. Workouts. You can create custom workouts that include goals for each workout step and for varied distances, times, and calories. You can create workouts using Garmin Connect, or select a training plan that has built-in workouts from Garmin Connect and transfer them to your device. You can schedule workouts using Garmin Connect. You can plan workouts in advance and store them on your device. Following a workout from the web. Before you can download a workout from Garmin Connect, you must have a Garmin Connect account. Garmin Connect. 1. Connect the device to your computer. 2. Go to www.garminconnect.com/workouts. 3. Create and save a new workout. 4. Select Send to device and follow the on-screen instructions. 5. Disconnect the device. Starting a workout. Before you can start a workout, you must download a workout from Garmin Connect. 1. Select Start, greater than workout. 2. Select a workout. 3. If necessary, select an activity type. 4. Select Start. After you begin a workout, the device displays each step of the workout, the target, optional, and current workout data. Indoor activities. The Fenix 2 device can be used for training indoors, such as running on an indoor track or using a stationary bike. GPS is turned off for indoor activities. When running with GPS turned off, speed, distance, and cadence are calculated using the accelerometer in the device. The accelerometer is self-calibrating. The accuracy of the speed, distance, and cadence data improves after a few outdoor runs using GPS. Starting an indoor activity. 1. Select Start, greater than indoor. 2. Select an activity. 3. Wait while the device connects to your ANT plus sensors. 4. Select Start to start the timer. History is recorded only while the timer is running. 5. Start your activity. Using history. History contains previous activities you have saved on your device. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select history. 3. Scroll up and down to view your saved activities. 4. Select an activity. 5. Select an option. To navigate the path you traveled for the activity, select Go. To view additional information about the activity, select Details. To view the activity on the map, select View Map. To navigate and reverse the path you traveled for the activity, select Track Back. To save the activity as a track for navigation, select Save as Track, creating a track from a saved activity. To delete the selected activity, select Delete. Training. Garmin Connect. You can connect with your friends on Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect gives you the tools to track, analyze, share, and encourage each other. Record the events of your active lifestyle, including runs, walks, rides, swims, hikes, triathlons, and more. To sign up for a free account, go to www.garminconnect.com/start. 6. Trainin'. Store your activities. After you complete and save an activity with your device, you can upload that activity to Garmin Connect and keep it as long as you want. Analyze your data. You can view more detailed information about your activity, including time, distance, elevation, heart rate, calories burned, cadence, VO2 max, running dynamics, an overhead map view, pace and speed charts, and customizable reports. Note: some data requires an optional accessory such as a heart rate monitor. Plan your training. You can choose a fitness goal and load one of the day-by-day training plans. Share your activities. You can connect with friends to follow each other's activities or post links to your activities on your favorite social networking sites. Setting up your user profile. You can update your gender, birth year, height, weight, and heart rate zone. Setting your heart rate zones. Settings. The device uses this information to calculate accurate training data. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than user profile. 3. Select an option, fitness goals. Knowing your heart rate zones can help you measure and improve your fitness by understanding and applying these principles. Your heart rate is a good measure of exercise intensity. Training in certain heart rate zones can help you improve cardiovascular capacity and strength. Knowing your heart rate zones can prevent you from overtraining and can decrease your risk of injury. If you know your maximum heart rate, you can use the table, heart rate zone calculations, to determine the best heart rate zone for your fitness objectives. If you do not know your maximum heart rate, use one of the calculators available on the internet. Some gyms and health centers can provide a test that measures maximum heart rate. The default maximum heart rate is 220 minus your age. About heart rate zones. Many athletes use heart rate zones to measure and increase their cardiovascular strength and improve their level of fitness. A heart rate zone is a set range of heartbeats per minute. The 5 commonly accepted heart rate zones are numbered from 1 to 5 according to increasing intensity. Generally, heart rate zones are calculated based on percentages of your maximum heart rate. Setting your heart rate zones before the device can determine your heart rate zones. You must set up your fitness user profile. Setting up your user profile. You can manually adjust the heart rate zones according to your fitness goals. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than heart rate, greater than HR zones. 3. Enter the maximum and minimum heart rate for zone 5. 4. Enter your minimum heart rate for zones 4 through 1. The maximum heart rate for each zone is based on the minimum heart rate of the previous zone. For example, if you enter 167 as a minimum heart rate for zone 5, the device uses 166 as the maximum rate for zone 4. Heart rate zone calculation. Zone % of maximum heart rate perceived exertion benefits 150 to 60% relaxed, easy pace, rhythmic breathing. Beginning level aerobic training reduces stress to 60 to 70% comfortable pace, slightly.
Nowadays you can also buy watches with blood pressure measurement function, not just the heart rate. So it measures the systolic and diastolic blood pressure, but usually that's very inaccurate, and many of these watches you cannot put in airplane mode, so then they're unusable. I wouldn't use a device that's constantly irradiating me.
Deeper breathing, conversation possible. Basic cardiovascular.
So I hope the quality of the blood pressure measuring watches increases in the future. I have a nice Casio blood pressure watch.
Training, good recovery pace 370 to 80%. Moderate pace, more difficult to hold conversation. Improved aerobic capacity, optimal cardiovascular training 480 to 90% fast pace and a bit uncomfortable. Breathing forceful. Improved anaerobic capacity and threshold, improve speed 590 to 100% sprinting pace, unsustainable for long period of time. Labored breathing. Anaerobic and muscular endurance, increased power. About lifetime athletes. A lifetime athlete is an individual who has trained intensely for many years, with the exception of minor injuries, and has a resting heart rate of 60 beats per minute, BPM, or less. Running dynamics. You can use your compatible Fenix. 2. Device paired with the HRM Run TM accessory to provide real-time feedback about your running form. If your Fenix 2 device was packaged with the HRM Run accessory, the devices are already paired. The HRM Run accessory has an accelerometer in the module that measures torso movement in order to calculate 3 running metrics: cadence, vertical oscillation, and ground contact time. Note, the HRM Run accessory is compatible with several ANT+ fitness products and can display heart rate data when paired. The running dynamics features are available only on some Garmin devices. Cadence is the number of steps per minute. It displays total steps, right and left combined. Vertical oscillation is your bounce while running. It displays the vertical motion of your torso, measured in centimeters for each step. Ground contact time is the amount of time in each step that you spend on the ground while running. It is measured in milliseconds. Note, ground contact time is not available while walking. Training with running dynamics. Before you can view running dynamics, you must put on the HRM Run accessory and pair it with your device, pairing ANT+ sensors. If your Fenix 2 device was packaged with the HRM Run accessory, the devices are already paired. When you pair an HRM Run accessory with your device, the running dynamics state page is visible when you are running. 1. Go for a run using an HRM Run sensor. Going for a run. 2. Select down to scroll to the running dynamics data page to view your metrics. The primary metric appears as the top field on the data page. The gauge position corresponds with the primary metric. 3. Hold menu and select the field to display as the primary metric. Optional, running dynamics data and gauges. The running dynamics screen displays a gauge for a primary metric. You can display cadence, vertical oscillation, or ground contact time as the primary metric. The gauge shows you how your running dynamics data compares to those of other runners. The zones are based on percentiles. Garmin has gathered data on runners with different levels of experience. The data values in zones 4 and 5 are typical for less experienced or slower runners. The data values in zones 1, 2, and 3 are typical for more experienced or faster runners. Less experienced runners tend to exhibit longer ground contact times, higher vertical oscillation, and lower cadence than more experienced runners. However, taller runners typically have slightly slower cadences and slightly higher vertical oscillation. Go to www.garmin.com for more information on running dynamics. For additional theories and interpretations of running dynamics data, you can search reputable running publications and websites. Zone percentile in zone cadence range, vertical oscillation range, ground contact time range, A greater than 95 greater than 185 SPM less than 6.7 centimeters less than 208 ms, A 70 to 95 174 to 185 SPM 6.7 to 8.3 centimeters 208 to 240 ms, A 30 to 69 163 to 173 SPM 8.4 to 10.0 centimeters 241 to 272 ms, 8 to 5 to 29 151 to 162 SPM 10.1 to 11.8 centimeters 273 to 305 ms, A diaresis less than 5 less than 151 SPM greater than 11.8 centimeters greater than 305 ms. Tips for missing running dynamics data. If running dynamics data does not appear, you can try these tips. Make sure you have the HRM Run accessory. The HRM Run accessory has on the front of the module. Pair the HRM Run accessory with your Fenix, too, again, according to the instructions. If the running dynamics data displays zeros, make sure the HRM Run module is worn right side up. Note, ground contact time appears only while running. It cannot be calculated while walking. About VO2 max estimates. You can use your Garmin device paired with a heart rate monitor to display your VO2 max estimate. VO2 max is the maximum volume of oxygen, in milliliters, you can consume per minute per kilogram of body weight at your maximum performance. In simple terms, VO2 max is an indication of athletic performance and should increase as your level of fitness improves. VO2.
So, when updating the time in satellite mode, you also have to leave the watch in a stationary position and put the time zone. The time zone must be on automatic if it's not correct.
Max estimates are provided and supported by First Beat Registered Technologies Limited. Getting your VO2 max estimate before you can view your VO2 max estimate. You must pair your heart rate monitor with your Fenix 2 device, pairing ANT plus sensors, and run for at least 10 minutes. For the most accurate estimate, you should complete the user profile setup, setting up your user profile, and set your maximum heart rate, setting your heart rate zones. Note, the projections may seem inaccurate at first. The device requires a few runs to learn about your running performance. 1. Hold menu, to select VO2 max. The VO2 max screen displays your VO2 max estimate as a number and position on the gauge. I superior, A excellent, A good, A tilde fairy diaresis poor. VO2 max data and analysis is provided with permission from the Cooper Institute registered. For more information, see the appendix, VO2 max standard ratings, and go to www.cooperinstitute.org. VO2 max standard ratings. These tables include standardized classifications for VO2 max estimates by age and gender.
Well, I've always hated the Cooper test. And here you have the cooperinstitute.org. And here you see these tables. It's kind of boring to read out, and it reads the first line first, and then it reads all this data. So you can see that for yourselves here. It's I skipped that for now.
Data reprinted with permission from the Cooper Institute. For more information, go to www.cooperinstitute.org. Recovery Advisor. You can use your Garmin device paired with a heart rate monitor to display how much time remains before you are fully recovered and ready for the next hard workout. The Recovery Advisor feature includes recovery time and recovery check. Recovery Advisor technology is provided and supported by First Beat Technologies Limited. Recovery Check. The Recovery Check provides a real-time indication of your state of recovery within the first several minutes of a run. Recovery Time. The recovery time appears immediately following a run. The time counts down until it is optimal for you to attempt another hard workout. Turning on the Recovery Advisor. Before you can use the Recovery Advisor feature, you must put on the heart rate monitor and pair it with your device, bearing ANT+ sensors. If your Fenix 2 was packaged with a heart rate monitor, the devices are already paired. For the most accurate estimate, you should complete the user profile setup, setting up your user profile, and set your maximum heart rate, setting your heart rate zones. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select Recovery Advisor, greater than enable. 3. Go for a run. Within the first several minutes of your run, a recovery check appears, showing your real-time state of recovery. 4. After your run, select Save. The recovery time appears. The maximum time is 4 days, and the minimum time is 6 hours. Viewing your recovery time. Before you can view your recovery time, you must enable the Recovery Advisor. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select Recovery Advisor. The recovery time appears. The maximum time is 4 days, and the minimum time is 6 hours. About training effect. Training effect measures the impact of an activity on your aerobic fitness. Training effect accumulates during the activity. As the activity progresses, the training effect value increases, telling you how the activity has improved your fitness. Training effect is determined by your user profile information, heart rate, duration, and intensity of your activity. It is important to know that your training effect numbers, 1.05.0, may seem abnormally high during your first few runs. It takes several activities for the device to learn your aerobic fitness. Training effect description. 1.0 to 1.9 helps recovery, short activities, improves endurance with longer activities, more than 40 minutes. 2.0 to 2.9 maintains your aerobic fitness. 3.0 to 3.9 improves your aerobic fitness if repeated as part of your weekly training program. 4.0 to 4.9 highly improves your aerobic fitness if repeated 1 to 2 times per week with adequate recovery time. 5.0 causes temporary overload with high improvement. Train up to this number with extreme care, requires additional recovery days. Training effect technology is provided and supported by First Beat Technologies Limited. For more information, go to www.firstbeattechnologies.com. Viewing your predicted race times. Before you can view your projected race times, you must put on the heart rate monitor and pair it with your device, pairing ANT+ sensors. If your Fenix 2 was packaged with a heart rate monitor, the devices are already paired. For the most accurate estimate, you should complete the user profile setup, setting up your user profile, and set your maximum heart rate, setting your heart rate zones. Your device uses the VO2 max estimate. About VO2 max estimates and publish data sources to provide a target race time based on your current state of fitness. This projection also presumes you have completed the proper training for the race. Note, the projections may seem inaccurate at first. The device requires a few runs to learn about your running performance. 1. Put on your heart rate monitor, and go for a run. 2. Hold menu. 3. Select VO2 max. 4. Select down to view the race predictor screen. Your projected race times appear for 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon distances. Using Virtual Partner Registered. Your virtual partner is a training tool designed to help you meet your goals. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings. Greater than activity. 3. Select an activity. Virtual partner is not available for all activities. 4. Select virtual partner. 5. Select set pace or set speed. 6. Begin your activity. 7. Select up or down to scroll to the virtual partner screen and see who is leading. Applications. Clock setting the alarm. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select clock, greater than alarm clock, greater than at alarm. 3. Select start. Up and down to set the time. 4. Select once. Daily or weekdays, changing the alarm clock sound. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than general, greater than sounds, greater than alarm clock. 3. Select tone. Vibration. Tone and vib, or message only. Starting the countdown timer. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select clock, greater than timer. 3. Select start. Up and down to set the time. 4. If necessary, select notification and select a type of notification. 5. Select start. Using the stopwatch. 1. Hold start. 2. Select clock, greater than stopwatch. 3. Select start. Adding a custom time zone. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select clock, greater than alt zones, greater than at zone. 3. Select a time zone. The alt zone's data page is enabled automatically. Data pages. Editing a custom time zone. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select clock, greater than alt zones. 3. Select a time zone. 4. Select an option to change the time zone. Select edit zone. To customize the name of the time zone, select edit label. Calculating the size of an area. Before you can calculate the size of an area, you must acquire satellites. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select tools, greater than area calc. 3. Walk around the perimeter of the area. 4. Select stop to calculate the area. 5. Select an option, select save.
These satellites can be very expensive to acquire. Really expensive.
Track. Enter a name, and select done. Select change units, to convert measurements of the area to a different unit of measure. Select back to exit without saving. Viewing the almanac.
Of course, it's just a joke. Acquiring satellites in this case means using the GPS satellites that we are all surrounded with continuously, that are also more or less irradiating us, but at least it's not cancer cell phone radiation. People can shield themselves with aluminum foil around these devices, but it's best to switch it off, keep it in airplane mode. But sometimes to use a device you have to first pair it and stuff like that, and then you can use aluminum foil on the outside of your head, so it's not in contact in any way with your head. And then you can take off that metal knob, the antenna of the cap basically, and put aluminum foil on the outside. But it's best to keep the foil in between the transmitter and your brain and your body. So just putting some aluminum foil in between the device when cancer cell phone radiation is on in your body, so that it can be around the device. That greatly diminishes the amount of cancer cell phone radiation, the amount of cancer microwaves in your environment. Because it's about improving your health, not about depopulating the earth.
You can view almanac information for the sun and moon, and hunting and fishing. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select an option to view the sunrise, sunset, moonrise, and moonset information. Select tools, greater than sun and moon. To view the predicted best times for hunting and fishing, select tools, greater than hunt and fish. 3. If necessary, select up or down to view a different day. Verb remote. The verb TM remote function allows you to control your verb action camera from a distance. Go to www.garmin.com/verb to purchase a verb action camera. Controlling a verb. Action camera. Before you can use the verb remote function, you must enable the remote setting on your verb camera. See the verb series owner's manual for more information. 1. Turn on your verb camera. 2. On your Fenix. 2. Device, hold menu. 3. Select verb remote. 4. Wait while the device connects to your verb camera. 5. Select an option, to record video, select start. The video counter appears on the Fenix 2 screen. To stop recording video, select down. To take a photo, select up. Customizing your device activity settings. These settings allow you to customize each activity based on your needs. For example, you can customize data pages and enable alerts and training features. Not all settings are available for all activity types. Hold menu, select settings, greater than activity and select an activity. Data pages allows you to show or hide data pages for the selected activity, customizing the data pages. Alerts sets the training or navigation alerts for the selected activity. Auto lap sets the options for the auto lap feature. Auto lap registered. Auto run sets the device to detect ski runs automatically using the built-in accelerometer. Auto pause sets the device to stop recording data when you stop moving or when you drop below a specified speed, using auto pause. 3D speed sets the device to calculate your speed using both your elevation change and your horizontal movement over ground. 3D speed and distance. 3D distance sets the device to calculate your distance traveled using both your elevation change and your horizontal movement over ground. Data recording sets the mode and interval for recording data. GPS mode sets the mode for the GPS antenna. Ultra track. Foot pod speed sets the device to calculate your speed using your foot pod instead of GPS. Bike speed sets the device to calculate your speed using your cadence sensor instead of GPS. Pool length sets the pool length for pool swimming, going for a pool swim. Rest timer enables the rest data page for pool swimming. Stroke detection enables stroke detection for pool swimming. Reset restores the factory default settings for the selected activity. In menu shows or hides the selected activity in the activity menu. Customizing the date pages, you can show, hide, and change the order of date pages for each activity. You can also edit the data fields for some data pages. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings. Greater than activity.
So people can check how to soft or hard reset the watch. I've looked at some videos about it. And you have to watch out that you don't erase all your maps and all data. First back it up. It's easy to connect it to the PC.
3. Select the activity to customize. 4. Select data pages. 5. Select add page and follow the on-screen instructions to add a new page, optional. 6. Select a page to edit data fields. 7. Select an option, select edit and change the data fields. Select move up, or move down, to change the order of the data pages. Select delete, to remove the data page from the page loop. Data pages. Some data pages are available only for specific activities, and some data pages require you to pair the device with an ANT Plus sensor, pairing ANT Plus sensors. Minimum, maximum, and chart data are calculated from the time when you started the activity. Note, your body.
So I don't mean maps, but data gathered by the watch. Basically, these maps are downloadable, so you can always replace them. But be careful not to erase other things that you don't want erased when doing a hard reset. And I think it has options to reset certain parts of the operating system and functions, etc. More about that via Google or Start Page or DuckDuckGo, other search engines. I still prefer Google's way, the way it shows the thumbnails of videos. above the DuckDuckGo, which is also pretty good, and that has the results in the middle. So let's continue the rest of the manual. We're about more than halfway. Perhaps I can make an index, but I have other things to do, so let's continue.
Temperature affects the temperature reading. To get the most accurate temperature reading, remove the device from your wrist and wait 20 to 30 minutes. Data page description ANT plus sensor activities. 1 field displays 1 configurable data field. None. All 2 fields displays 2 configurable data fields. None. All 3 fields displays 3 configurable data fields. None. All altimeter displays your current, minimum, and maximum elevation and a chart of the elevation history. None. All barometer displays the current, minimum, and maximum barometric pressure and a chart of the barometric pressure history. None. All compass displays the compass, with your direction of travel at the top. None. All temp displays the current, minimum, and maximum temperature and a chart of the temperature history. Temp ATM, optional. All map displays the map. None. All except pool swimming. Data page description ANT plus sensor activities. Heart rate displays your current, minimum, and maximum heart rate and a chart of your heart rate history. Heart rate monitor, required. All cadence displays your current, minimum, and maximum cadence and a chart of your cadence history. FootPod, bike cadence sensor, power sensor, vector TM. HRM run, optional, running, biking, custom power displays your current, minimum, and maximum generated power and a chart of your power history. Power sensor, vector biking, custom virtual partner displays the virtual partner page, using virtual partner registered. None. Running, biking, custom running dynamics displays your running dynamics information, running dynamics. HRM run, required, running, custom alt, zones displays alternate time zones, adding a custom time zone. None. All dual grid displays your GPS coordinates. None. All rest displays your rest time while swimming. None. Pool swimming time displays the time and date. None. All current run displays data about your current ski run. None. Downhill skiing or snowboarding total runs displays data about your total ski runs for the current activity. None. Downhill skiing or snowboarding workouts displays the goal and additional data for the current workout step. None. Workout, custom alerts. You can set alerts for each activity, which can help you to train towards specific goals, to increase your awareness of your environment, and to navigate to your destination. Some alerts are available only for specific activities. There are 3 types of alerts: event alerts, range alerts, and recurring alerts. Event alert. An event alert notifies you once the event is a specific value. For example, you can set the device to alert you when you reach a specified elevation. Range alert. A range alert notifies you anytime the device is above or below a specified range of values. For example, you can set the device to alert you when your heart rate is below 60 beats per minute, BPM, and over 210 BPM. Recurring alert. The recurring alert notifies you every time the device records a specified value or interval. For example, you can set the device to alert you every 30 minutes. Alert name. Alert type description. Battery event. You can set a low battery power alert. Cadence range. You can set minimum and maximum cadence values. Calories event. Recurring. You can set the number of calories.
So there's an app that works for Android and for iPhone to measure your blood pressure, and I've tried that on the Amazfit Pace, but it didn't install on the Amazfit Pace, I think. Perhaps newer versions might install, or editing the APK file with an APK editor might also help. So that free app is there for Android and iPhone devices to measure your blood pressure. But these devices, cuffs, they're called basically, that pump up with air, are more accurate, and they are very cheap as well. So if you would want one good device, might be a good idea to be able to measure your and other people's blood pressure.
Alert name, alert type, description, distance, event, recurring. You can set an interval, a custom distance from your final destination, or a custom distance if you go off course from a track or route. Elevation, event, range, recurring. You can set minimum and maximum elevation values. You can also set the device to alert you when you ascend or descend a specified amount. Heart rate range. You can set minimum and maximum heart rate values or select zone changes. See about heart rate zones. And heart rate zone calculations. Nav. Arrival event. You can set alerts for reaching waypoints and the final destination of a track or route. Pace range. You can set minimum and maximum pace values. Power range. You can set the high or low power level. Proximity recurring. See setting a proximity alarm. Speed range. You can set minimum and maximum speed values. Time event, recurring. You can set an interval, a custom time until sunset, or a custom time from your estimated time of arrival. Setting an alert. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than activity. 3. Select an activity. Note, this feature is not available for all activities. 4. Select alerts. 5. Select the alert name. 6. If necessary, select the type of alert. 7. Select a zone, enter the minimum and maximum values, or enter a custom value for the alert. 8. If necessary, turn on the alert. For event and recurring alerts, a message appears each time you reach the alert value. For range alerts, a message appears each time you exceed or drop below the specified range, minimum and maximum values. Setting a proximity alarm. Proximity alarms alert you when you are within a specified range of a particular location. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than activity. 3. Select an activity. Note, this feature is not available for all activities. 4. Select alerts, greater than proximity, greater than edit, greater than create new. 5. Select a location. 6. Enter a radius. 7. Select done. Using auto pause. You can use auto pause to pause the timer automatically when you stop moving. This feature is helpful if your activity includes stoplights or other places where you need to or stop. Note, history is not recorded while the timer is stopped or paused. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than activity. 3. Select an activity. Note, this feature is not available for all activities. 4. Select auto pause. Auto lap. Registered marking laps by distance. You can use auto lap to mark a lap at a specific distance automatically. This feature is helpful for comparing your performance over different parts of an activity. For example, every 1 mile or 5 kilometers. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than activity. 3. Select an activity. Note, this feature is not available for all activities. 4. Select auto lap. 5. Select a distance. Each time you complete a lap, a message appears that displays the time for that lap. The device also beeps or vibrates if audible tones are turned on. General settings. If necessary, you can customize the data pages to display additional lap data. Customizing the data pages. Ultra Track. The Ultra Track feature is a GPS setting that records track points and sensor data less frequently. Enabling the Ultra Track feature increases battery life but decreases the quality of recorded activities. You should use the Ultra Track feature for activities that demand longer battery life and for which frequent sensor data updates are less important. The default interval between track points is 1 point per minute. You can adjust the interval. 3D speed and distance. You can set 3D speed and distance to calculate your speed or distance using both your elevation change and your horizontal movement over ground. You can use it during activities such as skiing, climbing, navigating, hiking, running, or biking. Sensors settings. You can calibrate and configure the internal compass. Compass settings. You can calibrate and configure the internal barometric altimeter. Altimeter settings. You can pair and configure ANT plus sensors. ANT plus sensors. Compass settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than sensors, greater than compass. Display sets the directional heading on the compass 2 degrees or milliradians. North ref.
So basically, a way to calibrate the barometer is to set the height to a level that the barometer corresponds with, for example, weather.com or some other barometer that you know of, that it's accurate basically. So this shows 1023.37 millibar, and then if I press my down button on my Garmin, oh, I shouldn't hold that because then it's locating satellites, okay. So I just press it shortly, then I get compass, press it again, then I get altimeter, and press it again, then I have the barometer that's now at 1021, and this one is at 1023. Previous times it was more accurate, but it shows a maximum of 1023. So perhaps this one on weather.com is a bit behind. Anyway, you can adjust it by adjusting the height you are at. Barometer and the height sensor are coupled basically. It uses the barometer to detect your height. It depends on the air pressure. So let's continue.
Sets the north reference of the compass, setting the north reference. Mode sets the compass to use either a combination of GPS and the electronic sensor data when moving, auto or GPS data only, off. Calibrate allows you to manually calibrate the compass sensor, calibrating the compass. Setting the north reference, you can set the directional reference used in calculating heading information. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than compass, greater than north ref. 3. Select an option. To set geographic north as the heading reference, select true. To set the magnetic declination for your location automatically, select magnetic. To set grid north, 000 superscript O, as the heading reference, select grid. To set the magnetic variation value manually, select user. Enter the magnetic variance, and select done. Calibrating the compass. Notice calibrate the electronic compass outdoors. To improve heading accuracy, do not stand near objects that influence magnetic fields, such as vehicles, buildings, and overhead power lines. Your device was already calibrated at the factory, and the device uses automatic calibration by default. If you experience irregular compass behavior, for example, after moving long distances or after extreme temperature changes, you can manually calibrate the compass. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than compass, greater than calibrate, greater than start. 3. Follow the on-screen instructions. Altimeter settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than sensors, greater than altimeter. Auto California. Allows the altimeter to self-calibrate each time you turn on GPS tracking. Calibrate allows you to manually calibrate the altimeter sensor. Calibrating the barometric altimeter. Your device was already calibrated at the factory, and the device uses automatic calibration at your GPS starting point by default. You can manually calibrate the barometric altimeter if you know the correct elevation or the correct sea level pressure. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than altimeter. 3. Select an option. To calibrate automatically from your GPS starting point, select Auto California, greater than its start. To calibrate automatically with periodic GPS calibration updates, select Auto California, greater than continuous. To enter the current elevation or sea level pressure, select Calibrate. Bluetooth registered. Connected features. The Fenix 2 device has several Bluetooth connected features for your compatible smartphone. Some features require you to install Garmin Connect, mobile or Basecamp, mobile on your smartphone. Go to www.garmin.com/apps for more information. Phone notifications displays phone notifications and messages on your Fenix 2 device. Live Track allows friends and family to follow your races and training activities in real time. You can invite followers using email or social media, allowing them to view your live data on a Garmin Connect tracking page. Activity uploads to Garmin Connect automatically sends your activity to Garmin Connect. As soon as you finish recording the activity, activity review in Basecamp Mobile allows you to send activities to your smartphone running the Basecamp mobile app. You can view the activities, including the track and sensor data, in the app. Cloud backup in Basecamp Mobile allows you to back up saved activities to your Garmin Cloud account using Basecamp Mobile. Adventure Downloads allows you to browse adventures in the Basecamp mobile app and send them to your device, pairing your smartphone with your Fenix. 2. Device note: the device cannot connect to ANT+ sensors while Bluetooth wireless technology is turned on. 1. Bring your smartphone within 10 meters, 33 feet, of your Fenix. 2. Device. 2. On the Fenix. 2. Device. Hold menu. 3. Select settings, greater than Bluetooth. 4. Complete in action. If this is the first time you have paired a phone with your device, select OK. If you have already paired another phone with your device, select Pair Mobile Device. 5. On your smartphone, go to the Bluetooth settings menu, and search for nearby devices. See the smartphone owner's manual for more information. 6. Select your Fenix. 2. Device from the list of nearby devices. A passkey appears on the Fenix. 2. Screen. 7. On your smartphone, enter the passkey. 8. On your Fenix. 2. Device, select Always On. Inactivity or Not Inactivity and select OK. The device turns Bluetooth, wireless technology on and off automatically based on your selection. 9. Select Show or Hide. To show or hide smartphone notifications on the Fenix. 2. Screen. 10. Go to www.garmin.com/apps and download the Garmin Connect mobile app or the Basecamp mobile app to your smartphone. Optional. General settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than system. Sounds allows you to turn the key tones on or off and set the tone and vibration settings for various device alerts. Display allows you to change the backlight and contrast settings. Time sets the date, time, and time zone. Language sets the language of the device interface.
So it's best to keep the Cancer Bluetooth always off and put it in airplane mode. If it has that, it's the only way to make sure it's always off. I think I've already measured this device and it has 0 emissions, so that's great.
Units sets the measurement units used to display data. Display settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than general, greater than display. Backlight sets the backlight level and the length of time before the backlight turns off. Contrast sets the screen contrast. Time settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than general, greater than time. Time page allows you to customize the appearance of the time of day. Format allows you to select a 12-hour or a 24-hour display time. Time zone allows you to select the time zone for the device. You can select automatic to set the time zone automatically based on your GPS position. Changing the units of measure. You can customize units of measure for distance and speed, elevation, depth, temperature, and pressure. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than general, greater than units. 3. Select a measurement type. 4. Select a unit of measure. System settings. Hold menu and select settings, greater than system, customizing your device. 1. WAS sets the device to use Wide Area Augmentation System, WAS, GPS signals. For information about WAS, go to www.garmin.com/about/was.html. Hotkeys allows you to customize the hold function of the down key. USB mode sets the device to use mass. What is WAS? What is GPS? Applications, glossary. What is WAS? Geocaching, WAS diagram. You've heard the term WAS, seen it on packaging and ads for Garmin products, and maybe even know it stands for Wide Area Augmentation System. So what is it? Basically, it's a system of satellites and ground stations that provide GPS signal corrections, giving you even better position accuracy. How much better? Try an average of up to 5 times better. A WAS-capable receiver can give you a position accuracy of better than 3 meters, 95% of the time, and you don't have to purchase additional receiving equipment or pay service fees to use WAS. The origins of WAS. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the Department of Transportation, DOT, are developing the WAS program for use in precision flight approaches. Currently, GPS alone does not meet the FAA's navigation requirements for accuracy, integrity and availability. WAS corrects for GPS signal errors caused by ionospheric disturbances, timing and satellite orbit errors, and it provides vital integrity information regarding the health of each GPS satellite. How it works. WAS consists of multiple ground reference stations positioned across the U.S. that monitor GPS satellite data. 2 master stations, located on either coast, collect data from the reference stations and create a GPS correction message. This correction accounts for GPS satellite orbit and clock drift plus signal delays caused by the atmosphere and ionosphere. The corrected differential message is then broadcast through one of 2 geostationary satellites, or satellites with a fixed position over the equator. The information is compatible with the basic GPS signal structure, which means any WAS-enabled GPS receiver can read the signal. Who benefits from WAS? Currently, WAS satellite coverage is only available in North America. There are no ground reference stations in South America, so even though GPS users there can receive WAS, the signal has not been corrected and thus would not improve the accuracy of their unit. For some users in the US, the position of the satellites over the equator makes it difficult to receive the signals when trees or mountains obstruct the view of the horizon. WAS signal reception is ideal for open land and marine applications. WAS provides extended coverage both inland and offshore compared to the land-based DGPS, differential GPS, system. Another benefit of WAS is that it does not require additional receiving equipment, while DGPS does. Other governments are developing similar satellite-based differential systems. In Asia, it's the Japanese Multifunctional Satellite Augmentation System, MSIS, while Europe has the Euro Geostationary Navigation Overlay Service, EGNOS. Eventually, GPS users around the world will have access to precise position data using these and other compatible systems. It just keeps getting better. 100 meters, accuracy of the original GPS system, which was subject to accuracy degradation under the government-imposed Selective Availability (SA) program, WAS accuracy diagram, 15 meters, typical GPS position accuracy without SA, 3 to 5 meters, typical differential GPS, DGPS, position accuracy, 3 meters, typical WAS position accuracy. System settings. Hold menu and select settings. Greater than system. WAS sets the device to use Wide Area Augmentation System, WAS, GPS signals. For information about WAS, go to www.garmin.com.
So WAS is only useful in the US, Northern United States of America. For Europe they have another thing, and that's not on this watch, but it is pretty accurate anyway, so it's pretty good. But for people in the US it's awesome, of course. That came later, that it's only in the US. I thought, oh wow, great, and I'll turn it on. But there's no use in Europe.
/about/was.html, hotkeys allows you to customize the hold function of the down key. USB mode sets the device to use mass storage mode or Garmin mode when connected to a computer. Map allows you to change the appearance of the map. POS format sets the position format, datum, and spheroid used to calculate your GPS coordinates. Menu allows you to customize the items that appear in the main menu. Reset allows you to reset user data and settings. About displays device, software, and license information. Customizing the hotkey. You can customize the hold function of the down key. By default, holding down marks a waypoint. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than system, greater than hotkeys, greater than hold down. 3. Select a function. Map settings. To open the map settings, hold menu and select settings, greater than system, greater than map. Orientation sets how the map is shown on the page. North up sets how the map shows north at the top of the page. Track up shows your current direction of travel toward the top of the page. Auto zoom automatically selects the appropriate zoom level for optimal use on your map. When off is selected, you must zoom in or out manually. Points sets the zoom level for points on the map. Track log allows you to show or hide tracks on the map. Go to line allows you to select how the course appears on the map. Map colors allows you to select whether land or water is highlighted on the map. Position format settings. Note, do not change the position format or the map datum coordinate system unless you are using a map or chart that specifies a different position format. Hold menu and select settings, greater than system, greater than POS. Format. Format sets the position format in which a given location reading appears. Datum sets the coordinate system on which the map is structured. Spheroid shows the coordinate system the device is using. The default coordinate system is WGS84. Customizing the main menu. You can add, delete, or move items in the main menu. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than system, greater than menu. 3. Select a menu item. 4. Select an option. Select move up, or move down, to change the location of the item in the list. Select remove to delete an item from the list. Select insert to add an item to the list. Resetting the device to factory settings. You can restore all of the device settings to the factory default values. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than system, greater than reset, greater than all settings, A&T+. Sensors. The device is compatible with these. Optional.
So to view a map, you can use, for example, press menu a while. It wasn't responding, now it's loading. Then you get sync, settings, etc. if you keep menu pressed for a while. And then scroll to user data. And then waypoints, loading. And then select a waypoint that you've stored earlier. So that's when you're outside and you want to store your location. That's called a waypoint. And then it by default numbers them. You can also give them a name. And then you can go to that waypoint. So then you select waypoint, back. You select a waypoint. I select number 4 for this thing. Let's see if that works. Number 4, okay. And then you can select go or view map. And then I choose view map. And then it's acquiring the satellite positions and it will show the map. And that's this map here. Don't know if the light works. Let's see if I have a little flashlight. So that's basically the map that I've downloaded. I think it doesn't show any street names. I can check that. Let's see if I zoom in. You can use the menu key to zoom out. And then it takes a while to load the map again. There it is. And the down key to zoom in. The plus and minus on the screen indicate that. And I pressed it 3 times. 4, that's 1.2 kilometers. It shows a scale at the bottom. 800 meters. 500 meters. Lost satellite reception. I can only click OK. Well, it's bound to acquire it again, but it doesn't matter for this. Oh, now it's showing the name Meidre, but it's only showing part of the name. It's kind of hard to see, I guess. Anyway, that's the map, and I'm checking if it shows any street names also. I haven't had this very long, and it's a used watch. 300 meters, then Meidre disappears again. Perhaps if I leave it on longer. And so to move the map I can also use the start button, I think. But the question is, doesn't that stop the activity? And I can see other waypoints that I've made at 200 meters, and then if I zoom in further, 220 meters, that looks like this with some waypoints. There you see these triangles here in the middle. Those are waypoints. So I think there are no street names. Perhaps there is a way to get street names in there as well. With Offline Maps Plus on the Amazfit page, you can put XML files and other files in there. For example, all the coffee shops in the Netherlands. Anyway, let's continue the reading.
Wireless ANT Plus accessories. Heart rate monitor, such as HRM run, putting on the heart rate monitor. Bike speed and cadence sensor, using an optional bike cadence sensor. Footpod. Power sensor, such as vector, tempe.
So that's a new trick I learned by studying this manual, by reading it like this. That is the start stop button when you're using the map. And when you press that, you can move the map. It just doesn't show. Oh, and press it again. What does it do then? Then I'm back to zooming in and out. So there's no indication that it switches the mode, but the start stop button you can use to move the map up and down and left and right, perhaps. It's only up and down, I think. Oh, and then when you press start stop a second time, then it goes left and right, and then press start stop the third time, and then it's back to zooming in and out. Okay.
Wireless temperature sensor, tempe. For information about compatibility and purchasing additional sensors, go to http://buy.garmin.com, bearing ANT Plus sensors before you can pair ANT Plus sensors. Bluetooth, wireless technology must be turned off, pairing your smartphone with your Fenix 2 device. The first time you connect a sensor to your device using ANT Plus wireless technology, you must pair the device and sensor. Once paired, the device connects to the sensor automatically when you start an activity and the sensor is active and within range. Note, if a heart rate monitor was bundled with your device, the included heart rate monitor is already paired with your device. 1. If you are pairing a heart rate monitor, put on the heart rate monitor. Putting on the heart rate monitor. The heart rate monitor does not send or receive data until you put it on, to bring the device within 3 meters, 10 feet, of the sensor. Note, stay 10 meters, 33 feet, Away from Mother ANT plus, sensors while pairing. 3 hold menu. 4 select settings, greater than sensors. 5 select your sensor. 6 select new search. When the sensor is paired with your device, the sensor status changes from searching to connected. Sensor data appears in the data page loop or a custom data field. Tempe. The Tempe is an ANT plus wireless temperature sensor. You can attach the sensor to a secure strap or loop where it is exposed to ambient air, and therefore, provides a consistent source of accurate temperature data. You must pair the Tempe with your device to display temperature data from the Tempe. Putting on the heart rate monitor. Note, if you do not have a heart rate monitor, you can skip this task. You should wear the heart rate monitor directly on your skin, just below your breastplate. It should be snug enough to stay in place during your activity. 1. Snap the heart rate monitor module A onto the strap. 14 ANT plus Senso. Garmin logos on the module and the strap should be right side up. 2. Wet the electrodes A on the back of the strap to create a strong connection between your chest and the transmitter. 3. If the heart rate monitor has a contact patch A, wet the contact patch. 4. Wrap the strap around your chest, and connect the strap hook 8 tilde to the loop A diaresis. The Garmin logos should be right side up. 5. Bring the device within 3 meters, 10 feet, of the heart rate monitor. After you put on the heart rate monitor, it is active and sending data. Tip: if the heart rate data is erratic or does not appear, see the troubleshooting tips. Tips for erratic heart rate data. Tips for erratic heart rate data. If the heart rate data is erratic or does not appear, you can try these tips. Reapply moisture to the electrodes and contact patch. You can use water, saliva, or electrode gel. Tighten the strap on your chest. Warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Wash the strap after every 7 uses, caring for the heart rate monitor. Wear a cotton shirt or wet your shirt if suitable for your activity. Synthetic fabrics that rub or flap against the heart rate monitor can create static electricity that interferes with heart rate signals. Move away from sources that can interfere with your heart rate monitor. Sources of interference may include strong electromagnetic fields, some 2.4 GHz wireless sensors, high voltage power lines, electric motors, ovens, microwave ovens, 2.4 GHz cordless phones, and wireless LAN access points. Replace the battery. Replacing the heart rate monitor battery. FootPod. Your device is compatible with a FootPod. You can use the FootPod to record pace and distance instead of using GPS when you are training indoors or when your GPS signal is weak. The FootPod is on standby and ready to send data, like the heart rate monitor. After 30 minutes of inactivity, the FootPod powers off to conserve the battery. When the battery is low, a message appears on your device. Approximately 5 hours of battery life remain. Setting the FootPod mode. You can set your device to use FootPod data instead of GPS data to calculate pace and distance. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings. Greater than sensors. Greater than FootPod. 3. Select an option. Select indoor when you are training indoors without GPS. Select always on when training outdoors, when your GPS signal is weak, or when you lose satellite signals. FootPod calibration. Calibrating your FootPod is optional and can improve accuracy. There are 3 ways to adjust the calibration: distance, GPS, and manual. Calibrating your FootPod by distance. Before you can calibrate your device, you must pair your device with the FootPod, bearing ANT plus sensors. For best results, the FootPod should be calibrated using the inside lane of a regulation track or an exact distance. A regulation track, 2 laps equals 800 meters or 0.5 miles, is more accurate than a treadmill. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings. Greater than sensors. greater than footpod, greater than calibrate, greater than distance. 3. Select start to begin recording. 4. Run or walk 800 meters or 0.5 miles. 5. Select stop, calibrating your footpod by GPS. Before you can calibrate your device, you must acquire GPS signals, and pair your device with the footpod, pairing ANT plus sensors. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than footpod, greater than calibrate, greater than GPS. 3. Select start to begin recording. 4. Run or walk approximately 1 km or 0.62 miles. The device informs you when you have traveled far enough. Calibrating your footpod manually. Before you can calibrate your device, you must pair your device with the footpod. Pairing ANT plus sensors. Manual calibration is recommended if you know your calibration factor. If you have calibrated a footpod with another Garmin product, you may know your calibration factor. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than sensors, greater than footpod, greater than calibrate, greater than manual. 3. Adjust the calibration factor. Increase the calibration factor if your distance is too low. Decrease the calibration factor if your distance is too high. ANT plus sensors 15. Using an optional bike cadence sensor, you can use a compatible bike cadence sensor to send data to your device. Pair the sensor with your device. Pairing ANT plus.
I advise any top sports people, athletes and other top sports people not to use the cancer cell phone radiation in any way, to go for any device that has the same options without radiation. So that has to be wired somehow. And for example, if you need a heart sensor for watches that have it built in, the newer Garmins may also have that, and the Amazfit Base has a built-in heartbeat detector. And to always check first if it has airplane mode. Some watches have no airplane mode and they're constantly irradiating the users. And it has negative effects on your health. It causes DNA breaks, causes lumping red blood cells. A reproducible study you can do yourself with a microscope after 90 seconds of using a cancer cell phone. And it causes tumors on the side of the heads of the people where they kept their cancer cell phone to their head, as shown on the MRI scans. And so some people are lying about it for several reasons: money, to depopulate the earth, etc. And the MIT, for example, may lie about shielding quality of aluminum foil because they have a deal with Raytheon.
Sensors. Update your fitness user profile information. Setting up your user profile. Go for a ride. Going for a ride. Device information. Viewing device information. You can view the unit ID, software version, and license agreement. 1. Hold menu. 2. Select settings, greater than system, greater than about. Device care notice: do not use a sharp object to clean the device. Avoid chemical cleaners, solvents, and insect repellents that can damage plastic components and finishes. Thoroughly rinse the device with fresh water after exposure to chlorine, salt water, sunscreen, cosmetics, alcohol, or other harsh chemicals. Prolonged exposure to these substances can damage the case.
So when I browse to the settings system about page, then I see software version 4.5 unit ID. Can I scroll through it with menu? You have to push the down button and then you can scroll down. And GPS software 3.5. That may be the latest for the Garmin. I'd have to check. And it's good to update to the latest version. Sometimes older versions have advantages, but usually it's best to have the latest version installed, the latest firmware.
Avoid pressing the keys underwater. Avoid extreme shock and harsh treatment, because it can degrade the life of the product. Do not store the device where prolonged exposure to extreme temperatures can occur, because it can cause permanent damage. Cleaning the device: 1. Wipe the device using a cloth dampened with a mild detergent solution. 2. Wipe it dry. Specifications: battery type 500 mAh lithium-ion battery, battery life up to 5 weeks, water rating 5 atm, operating temperature range from 20 superscripto to 50 superscripto C, from 4 superscripto to 122 superscripto F.
So to increase the battery life, it's best to turn the light off, automatic light functions, and to turn everything off to the maximum extent possible, and also turn off seconds and the dial, the outer ring, that basically requires the screen to update every second. If you turn that off, then that will save a lot of battery. I haven't tested it yet. I've had it for only a couple of days, so I'm still learning about the watch.
Radio frequency, protocol 2.4 GHz ANT+, wireless technology, Bluetooth, smart device. The device withstands pressure equivalent to a depth of 50 meters. For more information, go to www.garmin.com/watt-rating. Battery information: the actual battery life depends on how much used GPS, device sensors, optional wireless sensors, and the backlight. Battery life mode: 16 hours normal, GPS mode 50 hours, ultra track, GPS mode with 1 minute polling interval up to 5 weeks, watch mode. Caring for the heart rate monitor. Notice you must unsnap and remove the module before cleaning the strap. A buildup of sweat and salt on the strap can decrease the ability of the heart rate monitor to report accurate data. Go to www.garmin.com/hrmcare for detailed washing instructions. Rinse the strap after every use. Machine wash the strap after every 7 uses. Do not put the strap in a dryer. When drying the strap, hang it up or lay it flat. To prolong the life of your heart rate monitor, unsnap the module when not in use. HRM run. Specifications: battery type user replaceable, CR2032, 3 volts, battery life 1 year, 1 hour per day, water rating 3 atm. Note: this product does not transmit heart rate data while swimming. Operating temperature range from -20 degrees to 60 degrees Celsius, from -4 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Radio frequency / protocol 2.4 GHz ANT+, wireless communications protocol. The device withstands pressure equivalent to a depth of 30 meters. For more information, go to www.garmin.com/watt-rating. User replaceable batteries. Warning: do not use a sharp object to remove batteries. Keep the battery away from children. Never put batteries in mouth. If swallowed, contact your physician or local poison control center. Replaceable coin cell batteries may contain perchlorate material. Special handling may apply. See www.dtsc.ca.gov.hazardous waste/perchlorate. Caution: contact your local waste disposal department to properly recycle the batteries. Replacing the heart rate monitor battery: 1. Use a small Phillips screwdriver to remove the 4 screws on the back of the module. 2. Remove the cover and battery. 3. Wait 30 seconds. 4. Insert the new battery with the positive side facing up. Note: do not damage or lose the O-ring gasket. 5. Replace the back cover and the 4 screws. Note: do not over-tighten. After you replace the heart rate monitor battery, you may need to pair it with the device again. 16. Device information.
I just received another cool package, so I'm a bit behind on schedule, but now we continue this wonderful manual for the Garmin Fenix 2, which I think is awesome because of the design. I like the way it looks. And because you don't need a cancer cell phone to have lots of functions that work very well. I think it's very professional.
Data management note: the device is not compatible with Windows registered 95, 98, ME, Windows NT registered and Mac registered OS 10.3 and earlier. File types: the device supports these file types. Files from Basecamp: go to www.garmin.com/trip_planning. Files from Garmin Connect. GPI custom POI files from the Garmin POI loader. Go to www.garmin.com/products/POI loader. GPX track files for navigation. GPX geocache files. Go to www.garmin.com/geocaching. Fit files for Garmin Connect. Disconnecting the USB cable: if your device is connected to your computer as a removable drive or volume, you must safely POI loader. POI loader is free software for your computer that lets you upload customized points of interest, POIs, to your compatible Garmin device. With the help of POI loader, you can update your compatible Garmin GPS with the latest POIs, including restaurants, safety camera locations and tourist destinations. Download POI loader. How it works: begin by finding and downloading the POIs you want to put on your compatible Garmin device. Then use POI loader to transfer those POIs from your computer to your device or to a data card. Additional features: screenshot, proximity alerts. When you're within a certain distance of a POI or driving a certain speed near a POI, your device can provide visual and audio alerts. This can be helpful near school zones, red lights and safety cameras. Garmin Tour Guide registered. Garmin Tour Guide POIs let you use your compatible Garmin device as a personal electronic tour guide. When you pass a tour guide POI, an MP3 file automatically begins to play. This can be perfect for bus tours, historical sites or real estate sales. Find tour guide POIs. More information. Developers interested in creating tour guide content can learn more at Garmin Developers. Third-party POI provider with questions about how to manage POI information should contact POIs or support at garmin.com. Except for our basic handhelds and older Rhino registered two-way radio GPS units, all of our current outdoor and automotive products are compatible with custom POIs. Tour guide POIs are only compatible with our MP3 capable NU Diarisys registered and SUMA registered units. Please check your particular Garmin model's spec sheet for custom POI compatibility. Related topics: support, create, trip planning, Basecamp, view maps, plan routes and mark waypoints for your next hiking, biking, motorcycling, driving or off-roading trip. Homeport. Pair Homeport with your existing Blue Chart registered data on marine devices to plan routes and view map details such as underwater hazards and hidden obstacles. Map categories: on the road maps, on the water maps, on the trail maps, in the city maps, on the green maps. Overview. Import and view maps in 2D or 3D, including topo and city navigator registered maps. Create, edit and organize routes, waypoints and more on your computer. View bird's eye satellite imagery, bird's eye topo raster or bird's eye select raster maps and transfer the data to your device. Subscriptions required. Create and share Garmin adventures. Create and share geotagged photos. View playback of routes, tracks and adventures. Search for geocaching through integrated open caching support. Disconnecting the USB cable. If your device is connected to your computer as a removable drive or volume, you must safely disconnect your device from your computer to avoid data loss. If your device is connected to your Windows computer as a portable device, it is not necessary to safely disconnect. 1. Complete an action. For Windows computers, select the Safely Remove Hardware icon in the system tray, and select your device. For Mac computers, drag the volume icon to the trash. 2. Disconnect the cable from your computer.
I've checked and it is available. If you right mouse click on the drive that appears when your Garmin is connected, then you can select eject to safely remove the device, and that's the safest way. So it's best to do that.
Deleting files. Notice if you do not know the purpose of a file, do not delete it. Your device memory contains important system files that should not be deleted. 1. Open the Garmin drive or volume. 2. If necessary, open a folder or volume. 3. Select a file. 4. Press the delete key on your keyboard. Troubleshooting. Resetting your device. If the device stops responding, you may need to reset it. 1. Hold light for at least 25 seconds. 2. Hold light for 1 second to turn on the device. Maximizing the battery life. You can do several things to extend the life of the battery. Reduce the backlight brightness and timeout. Display settings. Use Ultra Track GPS mode for your activity. Ultra Track. Turn off Bluetooth, wireless technology when you are not using connected features. Bluetooth registered, connected features. When pausing your activity for a longer period of time, use the resume later option. Stopping an activity. Getting more information. You can find more information about this product on the Garmin website. Go to www.garmin.com/outdoor. Go to www.garmin.com/learning center. Go to http://buy.garmin.com or contact your Garmin dealer for information about optional accessories and replacement parts. Appendix. Data fields. Accuracy. The margin of error for your exact location. For example, your GPS location is accurate to within ±3.65 meters, 12 feet. A HR% max. The average percentage of maximum heart rate for the current activity. Ambassador. Press the uncalibrated ambient pressure. Ascend. The total elevation distance ascended since the last reset. AVG. Ascent. The average vertical distance of ascent since the last reset. AVG ball. The average left, right power balance for the current activity. AVG CAD. The average cadence for the current activity.
There are videos online on YouTube how to use the barometer to predict the weather and how to calibrate it, etc. via the altimeter settings.
AVG. The average vertical distance of descent since the last reset. AVG HR. The average heart rate for the current activity. AVG lap. The average lap time for the current activity. AVG pace. The average pace for the current activity. AVG PWR. The average power output for the current activity. AVG speed. The average speed for the current activity. AVG STRK. Dis. Average distance traveled per stroke during the current activity. AVG STRK rate. Average strokes per minute, SPM, during the current activity. AVG STRKS, ln average number of strokes per length during the current activity. AVG SWOLF. The average SWOLF score for the current activity. SWOLF score is the sum of the time for one length plus the number of strokes for that length. Swim terminology. Ball. The current left, right power balance. Ball 3S. The 3-second moving average of the left, right power balance. Barometer. The calibrated current pressure. Battery. The remaining battery power. Bearing the direction from your current location to a destination, you must be navigating for this data to appear. Cadence. The number of revolutions of the crank arm or number of steps per minute. Calories. The amount of total calories burned. CMP. HDNG. The direction you are moving based on the compass. Compass heading. A visual representation of the direction in which the device is pointing. Course. The direction from your starting location to a destination. Course can be viewed as a planned or set route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Date. The current day, month, and year. Descent. The total elevation distance descended for the current activity. Distance: the distance traveled for the current track or activity. Elapse: the total time recorded. For example, if you start the timer and run for 10 minutes, then stop the timer for 5 minutes, then start the timer and run for 20 minutes, your elapsed time is 35 minutes. Elevation: the altitude of your current location above or below sea level. Final destination. The last point on the route or course. Final dist: the remaining distance to the final destination. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Final ETA: the estimated time of day when you will reach the final destination, adjusted to the local time of the destination. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Final at: the estimated time remaining until you reach the final destination. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Final lock: the position of your final destination. Final VDST: the elevation distance between your current position and the final destination. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Final VSBD: the rate of ascent or descent to a predetermined altitude. You must be navigating for this data to appear. GCT: ground contact time: the amount of time in each step that you spend on the ground while running, measured in milliseconds. Ground contact time is not calculated while walking. Glide ratio: the ratio of horizontal distance traveled to the change in vertical distance. GPS: the strength of the GPS satellite signal. GPS elevation: the altitude of your current location using GPS. GPS HDNG: GPS heading: the direction you are moving based on GPS. Grade: the calculation of rise, elevation, overrun, distance. For example, if for every 3 meters, 10 feet, you climb, you travel 60 meters, 200 feet, the grade is 5%. GRDS: the glide ratio required to descend from your current position to the destination elevation. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Heading: the direction you are moving. Heart rate: your heart rate in beats per minute, BPM. Your device must be connected to a compatible heart rate monitor. HR: max: the percentage of maximum heart rate. HR zone: the current range of your heart rate, 1 to 5. The default zones are based on your user profile and maximum heart rate, 220 minus your age. Interval: the distance traveled for the current interval. INT: ln amount of pool lengths completed during the current interval. INT pace: the average pace for the current interval. INT STRK: total number of strokes for the current interval. INT STRK dis: average distance traveled per stroke during the current interval. INT STRK rate: average strokes per minute, SPM, during the current interval. INT SWOLF: the average SWOLF score for the current interval. SWOLF score is the sum of the time for one length plus the number of strokes for that length. Swim terminology. INT time: the stopwatch time for the current interval. Kilojoules: the accumulated work performed. Power output, in kilojoules. Lap risk: the vertical distance of ascent for the current lap. Lap bile: the average left, right power balance for the current lap. Lap cav: the average cadence for the current lap. Lap disc: the vertical distance of descent for the current lap. Lap disc: the distance traveled for the current lap. Lap HR: the average heart rate for the current lap. Lap pace: the average pace for the current lap. Lap PWR: the average power output for the current lap. Laps: the number of laps completed for the current activity. Lap speed: the average speed for the current lap. Lap time: the stopwatch time for the current lap. Lap total: the stopwatch time for all the completed laps. Last INT: the distance traveled for the last completed interval. LOT: LON: the current position in latitude and longitude regardless of the selected position format setting. Lengths: amount of pool lengths completed during the current activity. LHR: max: the average percentage of maximum heart rate for the current lap. Ln amount of pool lengths completed during the last completed interval. Ln pace: the average pace for the last completed interval. Ln STRK: total number of strokes for the last completed interval. Ln STRK dis: average distance traveled per stroke during the last completed interval. Ln STRK rate: average strokes per minute, SPM, during the last completed interval. Ln STRKS: Ln average number of strokes per length during the last completed interval. Ln SWOLF: the average SWOLF score for the last completed interval. SWOLF score is the sum of the time for one length plus the number of strokes for that length. Swim terminology. Length time the stopwatch time for the last completed interval. Length type the stroke type used during the last completed interval. Lap percent the vertical distance of ascent for the last completed lap. Lap count the average cadence for the last completed lap. Lap decant the vertical distance of descent for the last completed lap. Lap dist the distance traveled for the last completed lap. Lap HR the average heart rate for the last completed lap. Lap pace the average pace for the last completed lap. Lap SPD the average speed for the last completed lap. Lap time the stopwatch time for the last completed lap. Len pace the average pace for your last completed pool length. Len STRK number of strokes for the last completed pool length. Len STRK rate average strokes per minute, SPM, during the last completed pool length. Len SWOLF the SWOLF score for the last completed pool length. SWOLF score is the sum of the time for one length plus the number of strokes for that length. Swim terminology. Len type the stroke type used during the last completed pool length. Location the current position using the selected position format setting. Max ascent the maximum rate of ascent in feet per minute or meters per minute since the last reset. Max descent the maximum rate of descent in meters per minute or feet per minute since the last reset. Max elevation the highest elevation reached for the current track or activity. Max PWR the top power output for the current activity. Max speed the top speed for the current activity. Max temp the maximum temperature recorded in the last 24 hours. Minutes elevation the lowest elevation reached since the last reset. Minutes temp the minimum temperature recorded in the last 24 hours. Marvin AVG the average speed while moving for the current activity. Marvin time the running tally of the time spent moving since the last reset. Next is the next point on the route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Next is the remaining distance to the next waypoint on the route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Next ETA the estimated time of day when you will reach the next waypoint on the route, adjusted to the local time of the waypoint. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Next at the estimated time remaining until you reach the next point in your route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Next VDST next waypoint vertical distance, the elevation distance between your current position and the next waypoint in the route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. None this is a blank data field. Odometer a running tally of distance traveled for all trips. This total does not clear when resetting the trip data. OFF course the distance to the left or right by which you have strayed from the original path of travel. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Pace the current pace. PDL smooth pedal smoothness, the measurement of how evenly a rider is applying force to the pedals throughout each pedal stroke. Power the current power output in watts. PWR 10s the 10-second moving average of power output. PWR 30s the 30-second moving average of power output. PWR 3s the 3-second moving average of power output. PWR zone the current range of power output, 1 to 7. Based on your FTP or custom settings. Rest rep the time remaining until the start of your next time swim interval. Rest time the timer for the current rest break. Speed the current rate of travel. Steps the number of steps recorded by the footpod. Stop time the running tally of the time spent not moving since the last reset. Stopwatch the stopwatch time for the current activity. STRK type the current stroke type. Strokes total number of strokes for the current activity. Sunrise the time of sunrise based on your GPS position. Sunset the time of sunset based on your GPS position. Temp the temperature of the air. Your body temperature affects the temperature sensor. Time the time since you started the activity, not including time while the activity was paused. Timer the current time of the countdown timer. To course the direction in which you must move to get back on the route, you must be navigating for this data to appear. Tod the time of day based on your current location and time settings, format, time zone, daylight saving time, torque EFF torque efficiency, the measurement of how efficiently a rider is pedaling. Track just the distance traveled for the current track. Turn the angle of difference, in degrees, between the bearing to your destination and your current course. L means turn left, R means turn right. You must be navigating for this data to appear. Verts be the rate of ascent or descent over time. VMG velocity made good, the speed at which you are closing on a destination along a route. You must be navigating for this data to appear. VOSC vertical oscillation, the amount of bounce while you are running, the vertical motion of your torso, measured in centimeters for each step. Watts, kg, the amount of power output in watts per kilogram. Software license agreement. By using the device, you agree to be bound by the terms and conditions of the following software license agreement. Please read this agreement carefully. Garmin Limited and its subsidiaries, Garmin, grant you a limited license to use the software embedded in this device. The software, in binary executable form in the normal operation of the product, title, ownership rights, and intellectual property rights in and to the software remain in Garmin and or its third-party providers. You acknowledge that the software is the property of Garmin and or its third-party providers and is protected under the United States of America copyright laws and international copyright treaties. You further acknowledge that the structure, organization, and code of the software, for which source code is not provided, are valuable trade secrets of Garmin and or its third-party providers, and that the software in source code form remains a valuable trade secret of Garmin and or its third-party providers. You agree not to decompile, disassemble, modify, reverse assemble, reverse engineer, or reduce to human-readable form the software or any part thereof, or create any derivative works based on the software. Index.
Okay then. I did it. Hurrah. I hope you all enjoy the manual. And there are other videos